Okay, go ahead, sir.
So, good afternoon, everybody.
Good evening from my end.
I'm actually Salami. Welcome to this section of
Scholar Habib, you can unmute yourself back. I think one of the hosts muted everyone.
Okay. So can you now hear me?
Yeah.
So you're all welcome to the section. So here today, we are having two great scholars here. So before we have the scholar here, I just want to have a brief introduction about the HISF. So welcome to the HISF International Scholars Information section. So these are the outline for the today program. We have the brief introduction about HISF, lecture from the guest speaker 1 and lecture from the guest speaker 2. And the last section is going to be the question and answer section, in which this are all the questions you might have for them. So basically, you might be seeing HISF. Most people did not know what is called HISF, or they did not know the main aim and objective of the organization. So this evening, I'm just going to give us the brief introduction about HISF. So HISF is basically known as Hotspot International Scholars Forum. So it is formally called International Scholars Forum. It is a registered organization in Nigeria, which is created by LookDev. So HISF is a non-profit organization, and the organization helps students and all African graduates to meet and discuss how to secure a fully funded scholarship or funding for their study. Since our existence in October 2016, HISF has assisted, guided, and provided guidance to thousands of African less privileged Nigerian students. Many members of this group study their private courses of study with a full and partial scholarship in different parts of the world, including USA, Europe, Australia, and different parts of the world. So basically, HISF has its main aim and objective of creating this forum. HISF assists the youth toward achieving quality education by procuring scholarship without any cost to them. HISF also organizes lecture, mentoring the next generation of students. HISF also caters to the academic welfare of the members and to promote academic and research distinction among the members, and also to encourage comprehensive education for all and sundry, as our main aim and objective is academics for excellence till we all win. So before we go to the main business of the day, I would like to just read the brief profile of the speaker 1. Our speaker 1 is Salami Kehinde. Scholar Salami Kehinde is a DAAD scholar studying in sustainable renewable energy technology at the prestigious University of Oldenburg, Germany. He is a renewable energy engineer with demonstrated history of working in the renewable energy. Scholar who then had a first class from the prestigious university in Nigeria, that is Federal University of here is able to have a first class degree. Scholar Hussein is a top-notch scholar in which he is able to secure most of the fully funded scholarship worldwide. So he's also a winner of that Airport Scholarship, King Fahd University Petroleum and Minerals Day Scholarship, Saudi Arabia, and also Academic Day Talents Fellowship, at the University Day for SLA. He is also a winner for iScholar Initiative Scholarship, in which iScholar has helped more than 150 students throughout the globe by paying for their GRE, TOEFL, and application fee. Our second speaker for today is also a great scholar. He's a representative of the prestigious MasterCard Scholarship. The name of the second speaker for today is Lukman Rainer. Lukman Rainer has interest in academic, higher education, Africa-based development, advocacy, and agriculture. He's also a first-class graduate of Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agor Iwoye in Nigeria. Here is one among the first pioneer students that are able to graduate with a first-class degree from the university. Scholar Rainer is able to publish different kinds of journals in highly reputable journals. Scholar Lukman has a 6 peer-reviewed article to his name amongst other short contents and opinion. He is also a winner of MasterCard Foundation Scholarship and iScholar Initiative Scholarship. So these are the 2 scholars we are having today for this section. So thanks for listening. So Scholar Hussein, are you here?
Yeah, I'm still, let me stop admitting people. Okay, let me share my screen. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Oh, okay. Let me put a disclaimer first to what you said. I'm just saying. So, can you see my screen? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we can see your screen. Perhaps you can,
okay, let me take it
full screen.
Yeah. So, how about now?
Yeah, it makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm here with Scholar Lukman Morena. So we, on behalf of HISF, we are here to attend to this lecture, securing international MSc and PhD scholarship in various disciplines across the globe. And we are here to also share our idea and thoughts about how to gain fully funded scholarship across the globe. Someone is making a mark on the Scholar Lukman. Can you signify your presence?
What did you say, Scholar Kehinde?
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to signify your presence too. Yeah.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Lukman Moreno as a scholar. So yeah, I would be readily available to take my part of the presentation. Mr. Kehinde, please carry on, sir. God bless.
No, I can hear echo. I don't know. It's in my earpiece. Okay. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So today we have we've prepared a PowerPoint which we are going to be using we've structured our whole presentation with the PowerPoint. So first of all, we're looking at the benefits of seeking international scholarships, and two, we look at different scholarship application checklists. Those are the documents you need to submit for application, and also we look at different types of available scholarships. For we look at how you could go about searching for different STEM-related scholarships. We have also prepared some slides on how to search for scholarship in behavioral and arts. Those are the non-STEM programs, and also how to be an ideal candidate as a scholarship seeker. and also some do's and don'ts of common scholarship application and how to handle rejection of what we call, let's leave that towards the end of the session. And lastly, we have the Q&A section. So as the moderator earlier said, I'm Kehinde Salami, and we are studying a master's in renewable energy here at University of Oldenburg here in Germany. And I'm also on DAAD scholarship here, and I'll be taking from 1 to 4 of this presentation, and scholar Lukman Morena will be taking the rest of the part also. Okay, so let's quickly jump into the main matter for today. So what are the benefits of seeking international scholarships? So you agree with me, there are so many benefits. Yeah, there are so many benefits that you get from studying abroad, aside from immediately after your graduation or something you could start preparing for before your graduation. So to start with, let me just first say it, that our main target is like looking towards those in their final year of their undergraduate program, or those that are just finishing, so that they can have, we can give them some heads up on, okay, what they need to do before leaving the four corners of the university, and for those that have left, and what they should start thinking of doing, and also for those that are still doing their NYSC program. So first of all, we have benefits of seeking international scholarship. So, number one, improve your career prospects. So studying abroad gives you an opportunity for you to learn new skills and broaden your skills in terms of digital skills or communication skills, and some of the qualifications that many of these top organizations are always looking for in candidates. They always want to, it gives you an opportunity to gather these experiences. Secondly, it gives you an experience of experiencing a new culture, like you travel, like in the case of Erasmus Mundus, whereby you have to study in 2 or 3 different European countries, or you get a research position in the US, whereby you can travel to different states.
Yeah, sorry,
in the US.
Scholar Hussein, please could you make it more audible? People,
can you hear me?
Yeah, please make it more audible. Yeah.
How about now?
Okay, fine.
Yeah. And secondly, like I was saying, it gives you an opportunity to experience new culture, whereby you meet new people from different nationalities. You get to learn more international foreign languages, and from there you kind of build a network of in your own profession. Yeah, and also it gives you an opportunity to also earn while you study. During your program, you have opportunity to sometimes do part-time jobs, student jobs. It could be in form of internships also, and also doing your master thesis. So your master thesis too can be in form of student job, whereby you work with an organization, or you work as in your own field or with a research institute, and you get paid as well. And so also there's also a short study period, whereby during your program you have your academic calendar is almost set. It's set before you even start your program, and in this case there's nothing like labor union strike or that impedes, like back home, whereby a program that is meant for 4 years, you get to do it for 5-6 years. There's nothing of such in this instance. And also it gives you an opportunity to work with multinational and your dream companies. So many of us, while growing up, we always, I want to work with Google, I want to work with Siemens, I want to ExxonMobil. So it's also give you that kind of opportunity, because while you are during your program, you can have opportunity to intern with some of these organizations, and you find out that it's always based on merit. And when you have the qualification, like your master's program or your PhD program have built the skills and the qualification these organizations want, it's very easy for you to get positions there, whether as an intern or as a master's research student, or as a working student, or have a full-time position with them. So it becomes very easy when you have some of this international experience. Yeah. And So let's move to the main how to go about your scholarship application. So for every scholarship application, there are always set of documents that you are required to submit. So, so I'll be looking at most of the documents that you'll be asked to submit. I have them here. I have most listed here. I have the academic transcript. I have your degree certificate. You have the motivation letter, which will also be statement of purpose, which or letter of intent, and also there is the CV, and you have the recommendation letter. You have a proof of English proficiency. You have an international passport, definitely, and there's or sometimes you could be asked to submit published literatures and or a research proposal. So I want you to understand something here, that it's not like for every scholarship application you'll be able to submit all these requirements, but more often than not, you will always be asked to submit like about 90% of all these things I've listed here. So let's go into each of the items here. So first, the transcript and the certificate. So your transcript is always a document issued by your university. It usually includes your name, the name of the institution, the list of the courses you've taken, grades you received in each of these courses, and in the end, there's always the degree conferred in it. And also, it should also complete information about your degree class, that, okay, is it a first class, is it a 2-1, is it a 2-2, it's required. And also your university grading scale should also be included, because there are different universities with different grading scale. Like someone coming from UI must have gone through a different grading scale compared to someone coming from FUNAB like me. So we use a 5-point scale, and there are UI that used to use 7. So, and there are some schools that make use of 4 points. I think KWASU also, yeah, they make use of 4 points. So for your transcript should contain your university grading scale, and also the grading scale of what an A means. Is it from 70? Is it from 75? Is it 80? So the transcript should also contain this. So, but for the transcript, there's nothing you can really do about it. Like you just probably before your graduation, you should request it from your university. Like once you are done with all your papers, like something you can easily request from I think exams and record of university, or the registry department of your university. You can easily request for that. And I also want to say that don't wait for you to leave the university before you say, okay, you want to start asking, you want to go and request for it. It's something you can get upon graduation and just, okay, get it, and then you move to probably for NYSC, because sometimes it becomes very difficult for you to, let's say you've gone to the north and you need to make some application and say you want to come back to your university to get. So after graduation, immediately just try to get your transcripts. And also your certificate. So the certificate is usually it shows that you've completed an academic program, and it also shows the course you've taken, and in sometimes your certificate, when you don't get your certificate on time, you could use your notification of results. And usually notification of results, universities issue this, like I think for when you're going for your NYSC, you easily get this in lieu of, okay, your certificate. So you could use your notification of result for application. That's no problem about that. And also your certificate, when you have that in time, you can also use it. And always avoid laminating your certificates. It's not a very good thing to do. And I forgot to mention, in transcript, sometimes you might need to send your transcript directly to the university you are applying to, and sometimes you might just need to submit a copy online. So whichever of the case that you are into, you should always note that from the start of the application, and don't wait till probably the deadline of the application before you say, oh, I have to send my transcript. And processing transcript from Nigerian university to international universities might take a very long process, and you don't want to be caught in that middle of, taking so much time for them to deliver your certificate, your transcript to the university you're applying to. So, so to the next one, your motivation letter. So motivation letter or statement of purpose or letter of intent can be they can come in different forms depending on where you're applying to. Like motivation letter is commonly used in Europe, I think, statement of purpose commonly in the US, and letter of intent, I think, in Australia, and I think some universities in Canada also name it like letter of intent. So whichever of the case that you're asked to submit, they still point out to one thing, like they want to know your motivation, like, okay, why are you an ideal candidate for this position? Why are you an ideal candidate for this scholarship? There are thousands of people that apply to this scholarship. So they want to know, okay, what do you think would be a distinguishing factor for you, or a feature that will make you, okay, you are the right or ideal candidate to be selected for this scholarship or position. And a motivation letter is a personal document detailing your professional skills and reason for applying for a course of study or a scholarship. And like I said earlier, it's a document that shows, okay, why you're a good fit for this scholarship. It goes beyond like there are so many people, yeah, quite all right, that are applying for this scholarship, and you want to like show yourself that, okay, fine, this is where I'm coming from. This is where I am presently, and these are the goals that I want to pursue in life. And your program, okay, this is what this program is going to do for me to achieve my goal. So you want to really spell out all these points in your motivation letter. And also your essay, or you should use your essay to tell a story. Yeah, very important for you to tell a story, and not just combine different, like saying, like it has to be coherent. Like you have to, okay, your first paragraph should link to the second paragraph, to the third paragraph. Like you should be able to address the question you have been asked. And sometimes motivation letter, you might be given some questions to answer in a motivation letter, and sometimes they might just leave it to you that, okay, what's your motivation for applying to this scholarship? And sometimes they will define what they want you to respond to. Like I said, yeah, you have to connect the dots in your past, like your curiosity, to the program, then to the goals. Your past, like, okay, let's say, okay, why growing up, you've always been faced with the challenge of electricity. Like you grew up somewhere that is not so much of electricity. And now the program you're applying to is, let's say, a program on nuclear energy, or let's say renewable energy. Definitely you want to show that, okay, fine, from your background, whereby you grew up in an environment where there was little or no electricity, like that could be like a driving factor for you. Then you want to link that to the program, that, okay, fine, this program, okay, my motivation, okay, growing up in this kind of environment, I've had to like struggle in terms of in terms of learning in a very tight condition with your not so much of electricity, and some things not the right way they should be. And you want to link all these, your past, you want to link them to the program. And sometimes in linking them to the program, you just have to be plain, not like you want to lie about what you've experienced in the past, but you just want to let them show that, okay, fine, you are coming from somewhere, and this program will really do so much for you. Then you want to use this program to link your past to your future. Then, okay, fine, you know that, okay, your goal will now be like, okay, you want to solve some of this, okay, let's say electricity problem, or like someone working on malaria, like malaria, like, so it could also be a research interest for someone, like growing up in a community of such, whereby there's so much rapid outbreak, like malaria and some other diseases, and you find yourself in this situation. Then you've gone to the university, so probably to study, let's say, biochemistry or animal breeding and genetics, and you want to use the program to like learn about some of these challenges in your past, and then use the program to be like an interfacing you want to use to interface between the past and also your future goals. So you really want to put this thing into context in writing your motivation letter. And I also have it here that you just don't list your interest while you're writing your motivation letter. Instead, you should also explain how they came about and why you really want to pursue them, and how this program also help you to do so. I also explained that earlier. And also you should be able to discuss some aspect of the program that mean a lot to you. That is in terms of internship, like some programs, during your programs, you could be asked to, okay, some modules in your program might be internship. Then you should be able to first look into, okay, how will this internship really assist you in building in answering some of your questions on why you really want to go into the program. Sometimes it could be an excursion, sometimes it could be a faculty member that really interested in the university, why you want to go. So you should be able to explain this as well. And also the university, it might be the university, just the university, probably the university is the best in agriculture, like, and you know that, okay, your field is in agriculture, then you can just use that also as one of the points in your motivation letter. And so in the motivation letter, there's quite a lot of things you can write. And so I highlighted some of the points here. First is your motivation. Very important. You should start with your motivation. Like, okay, you should have like a sentence, like 1 or 2 lines to explain, okay, to write about your motivation, what bettered your motivation for this field, and also the challenges in the society which your acquired knowledge and expertise will make contributions to. So you really want to talk about, you want to like make some points about this. And also you want to talk about your academic background and work experience. So in the second paragraph, you not like there's a constant rule in writing a motivation letter, but these points are just very important for you to outline in your motivation letter. And it has to be sequential. You just don't start with your career goals and now at the end you're not talking about your motivation for going into the program. So it has to be in steps. And also in the second part, like you could talk about your academic background, your work experiences, whereby you outline some of the excellent fit for the program, why you are an excellent fit for the program. You want to talk about your undergraduates, some courses you've taken in undergraduate that are in line with the program you are currently applying to. And one thing you have to be very careful here is that you just don't name all the courses you've done. It's not the right way to go. You should just pick specific courses that you did in your undergraduate. They are so much in line with the program you're applying to. So you always see this every now and then, and these are things you can always try as much as possible to mention in your motivation letter when you're writing, or your statement of purpose, or your letter of intent. And also there's the MOOC. Those are the online courses we take nowadays. So these online courses are also very good, and sometimes you might be in a position to mention them, because sometimes your undergraduate might not really cover what the program is about, and you are so much interested in the program. So the MOOC might just be an avenue for you to say, okay, fine, okay, I've done some of these courses in my undergraduate, and so through the MOOC too, you could so also outline them, like there are courses you do on EDX, Coursera, Data Camp and all, whereby just to like break a kind of shortfall in your undergraduate degree and the program, you want to like bridge them together. So you might want to look into taking some MOOC, and you can mention some of them too in your motivation letter or statement of purpose. There are conferences that, if they're in line with the program you're applying to, you can mention it, but not like it's necessary for you to mention the relevant work experience. Probably you have a particular experience that is in line with what they are asking in your motivation letter or in your statement of purpose, then you can also make mention of that. And also your volunteering activities, leadership experience, and so some of these things are things you can outline in your essays or in your motivation letter. Let's say, for example, like you're writing a MasterCard Foundation scholarship essay now, and they are asking about some of your background, your volunteering experience, how you've transformed some of these your volunteering experience in helping your community. So in answering such a question, you want to relate it to some volunteering activities you've done in the past, then you relate it to the question. You understand? So those are the way, and it might be in form of leadership. So it's all the some of the leadership experience that you've also had in the past that are in line with the goals and objective of the scholarship body that you want to outline in your essay. So, and I also have a point, okay, attraction to the course and the university. Here you want to explore the university and the program website. So it's also very important for you to know, okay, what attracted you to this course or to the university? In answering this question, is always very, very important for you to explore the university website or the program website, like for you to know what the program is really about. And so that when you are writing some of these essays, you don't write out of point, you write in line with what is obtainable in the course, and not just try to, okay, you have this in your university, so I'm interested in this. And meanwhile, they don't have such in their university. So the selection committee definitely know that, okay, this person is lying. We don't have this in our university. So how come you find out that we have? So you always want to explore the university website, or you want to explore the program website to know what is available in the department, what is the kind of lecturers they have in the department. So this is even more important for someone that is applying for a research position. You want to check the research lab. You want to know the kind of, you want to even know the papers they've published in the past. You want to really read about it, so that if you happen to, let's say, you are invited for an interview, probably by one of the faculty member, you want to know, okay, this is where they are coming from. This is where you can easily fit in. You don't talk out of point when they're asking you a question. You already have an idea of what they are working on. So it becomes very easy for you to like answer some of their questions, even though you might not be able to answer all their questions. But with that, by exploring the university or the program website, you have so much knowledge about what they are working on, what they've done in the past, what they are working on presently, and what they plan to even work on. And you know a kind of idea of those that are in the department. Are they, is it a mixed department in terms of having so many foreigners, or is it just centralized with their national? So these are the information you also get from exploring these and their website, and they always have a very good online presence, and you get as much as information you want. And also you need to also talk about your career goals and how this program will help you to achieve them. That is, here you want to talk about your short-term and the long-term career goals. You want to relate the benefits the program will also have for you. That's a little about your motivation letter. So I also have here, sometimes, yeah, exactly. Sometimes when you're applying to some scholarship, let's say MasterCard, Chevening, Commonwealth, the SISD, this is the Swedish government scholarship. Sometimes you might be required to answer in some essays, you might be required to answer some questions. And I usually advise people, which it's a very common approach, to use the STAR approach. Like it's a method that it's been very useful in answering, and that you can employ in answering some of all these questions. And what's the STAR approach? That's the STR, whereby you talk about a situation, you talk about the task, you talk about the action, and you talk about the result. So this helps you. Hey. There's a background noise somewhere. I don't know if you could remove the person.
Go ahead, I just mute.
Okay, good. So like I said, the STAR approach, it's a very useful tool in answering so many scholarship essay question, whereby you talk about a situation, you talk about the task, like the task you've involved in, your action, the specific action you took, and the result. So this for the situation, okay, first situation, yeah, you provide some brief details about the situation you were involved in. It's the task that this is where you outline the objective or the purpose in the situation. Again, yeah, to put your answer into context. So this is more of, okay, the task that the team carried out. Then to the next one is the action. Yeah, you need to describe what you did in that situation and how you approach it. Yeah, you have to specify that you're writing the essay, what's your team actually, what you did specifically. In the situation aspect, you just talk generally, or okay, what the problem was, the task, what the team, okay, the motivation, what the team did. Then for the action, these are specific things for yourself, what you did. Because a selection team, a selection committee, we always want to know, you are the one applying for this scholarship. You are the one that you are selling, you want to sell yourself. So definitely you really want to talk about your own action, your own impact, because that's what they're after, not about what the team did. They are more after what you did. And also you want to talk about the results. Yeah, you want to state the outcome. And in stating the outcome is very important. You need to quantify your outcome. Don't just say, okay, we achieve, teaching so many students in my location. You want to like quantify that, okay, fine. We, at the end of this whole exercise, we're able to tutor 70 students. You understand? Like, you want to quantify, and it's very good. Like, I have got to know that it's always very good when you quantify your results, because many of these selection teams, so they always want to know the impact that your tasks have, the impact of your tasks, the impact of your actions. They want to know in terms of numbers and not just having it in a general term. I have an example here, like from a MasterCard scholarship question. Yeah, they said, we want to learn about your track record as a transformative leader. Tell us about one current idea or project you are working on, which clearly demonstrate this. This is one of the questions commonly asked in MasterCard applications, I think University of Edinburgh. So yeah, definitely you want to talk about, you want to use the STAR approach first. Two, you have to use an example of probably a volunteering activity you've done in the past, whereby you took some leadership activities in it. So in answering this question, definitely you want to emphasize on this, not just you talking about your motivation or why you really want to go to the university. No, that's not what they want in this instance. Yeah, they want to know they want you to tell them about some things, some positions that you've actually taken some leadership roles. And in doing that, you really want to emphasize on those things those leadership roles you've taken in the past. And in answering them, you just have to look for one of them that is really, really related to the objective of the program. Like, okay, this is a MasterCard scholarship. You know, first of all, you need to know what MasterCard is really into, what is their main objective in wanting to sponsor you. Then you take that particular example that is in line with what their own major objective. Then you talk about, okay, you explain the situation, the tasks that the whole team did, the actions used, particularly what was your own leadership role in that situation. Then you talk about the results, just like I explained earlier. And that's how you just keep doing to many of the questions. Like SIS-GPT is a very common scholarship that you might get to apply to. And also for Commonwealth, yeah, you find this too in Commonwealth applications, and you really need to learn how to use this technique in answering many scholarship questions. And your CV, okay, CV is also a very important document you get to submit during your scholarship application. And for CV, yeah, it should be detailed. Your CV should be able to tell you, okay, what you've been doing from the past to this present moment. You should be able to like explain, you should be able to put them into context. First, it should be written in a chronological manner. Like, you don't start with your referee and then go to your work experience, then go to your MOC. No, it has to be in a chronological order. And also some of the content should be, okay, your educational background, your work experience, some awards you've won, some of the publications you've written, And also you try as much as possible to use action words in writing your CV as well. So, and okay, so I have some outlines here, some of the things that you should have in your CV. First of all, you should have your profile. Yeah, you have your profile, your name. Definitely, you want to have your name. You want to have your name. You want to have your address. Yeah, you can put your address. Then you want to have your Gmail account or your email account. Definitely, you want to have your email account, and also probably your phone number. That would be good. Then one of your LinkedIn, if you have a an updated LinkedIn account, you can put it there. If not, so sometimes if you have a LinkedIn account and your LinkedIn account uses for something different from your scholarship application, it's better not to use it at all. Like, it's better than to give a bad impression about yourself. So but it's always good. Let's at least have a social media account, like an online account that somebody can easily check you out. In fact, I've applied to some scholarship in the past that, like, immediately I got an email for an interview, then I start seeing somebody checking my account from the university. So just for you to know that sometimes these people, before they even want to meet you one-on-one, they want to see you probably online. Aside from all these documents you've submitted, they want to see, okay, does this person even have a social life, or can I even see something different from all these documents this person have submitted, and something different? So sometimes you want to have, like, and LinkedIn is a very good platform. You could just have some of your content on, just probably you are into, let's say, malaria research, and you could just have some things you've written on it on your LinkedIn account, or some conferences or some things you've done related to the program you're applying to, and just have some of them on, or some MOCs you've taken. You will just have them uploaded on your LinkedIn account. So it's safe for you that way as well. So your profile, then you want to have your educational qualification. Yeah, you have, your master's. If you've done your master's, you need to have your master's. Your bachelor's, ensure your bachelor's is written under this section. You don't need your secondary school. Nobody really cares. Sincerely, nobody really cares. They don't even want to know that. Just have your bachelor's is enough. And it's always good you put your grade there. Yeah. There's no point in hiding your grade. You can put your grade there. I have a 4.1 out of 5. I don't usually advise people put first class or second class. Some universities, some professors don't even know what a first class means. They don't know what a 2-1 means. So you just want to know, you just want to put the exact grade you graduated with, 4.5 out of 5 or 4.5 out of 7. Just put it there, and sometimes you could put the percentage because your CGPA is already a weighted average. There's no really point in putting a percentage, but if you want to put it, there's nothing bad in it, but just ensure that you have the CGPA you graduated with, and you under this educational, you could also have your thesis, probably your undergraduate thesis that you did. Can put the topic there just for you. Fine. You've also done some research work during your undergraduate. And another thing you can put here are some relevant courses you've done in the program, and some relevant courses you've done in your undergraduate that are relevant to the program you're applying to. So in this instance, this will tell you that every scholarship application, you need to create a CV for it. You can have a template for your CV already, and for every application you get to edit them. So here under the educational section, you could just have some related courses. So yeah, you just outline maybe 4 or 5 courses that are related to the program that you're applying to. Just 4 or 5 of them, you can just have it there. Then to the next one is your professional experience. So your professional or academic experience for somebody that have been in the industry, like say after your graduation, or while you are still in the university, you happen to do some internship work. Yeah, you want to outline some your position in this organization, the name of the organization, and also very important, you want to talk about your task or your responsibility in this organization. It's very, very important, and also your achievements. See, there's no how you are going to tell me about your task or responsibility in a particular organization without telling me about your achievements.
Okay.
You understand? So many a times these selection committees, they always want, in fact, if you don't even put your tasks or responsibilities in that position, you want to put your achievements, because it's very important, because it's the achievement that really matters. For then you can also put your tasks and responsibility in that role, then you just follow it by your achievements in the role for every position that you put there, in terms of, let's say, your professional experience or your academic experience. And sometimes some of us sometimes you might just have only teaching experience while you're still in the university and not so much of industrial work. So just just put it there, all the tasks you were responsible for, and also the achievements, no matter how. And in your achievements, you just, like I said earlier, to try to quantify your achievements. Don't just list that, oh, I was able to I achieved so many papers. No, how many papers? 5. Okay, you wrote 5 research papers before your graduation, so list them. In fact, you can even put a link to all those papers, and so it's also very good. And also you want to put your skills and interest, and for skills you want to put, let's say, your digital skills. Maybe you are so good in programming, or you are so good in using some lab equipment. You also want to put this. It's very important you also put, because it's more or less like you selling it's not even more or less, you are selling yourself to them. So you really want to present yourself in the best possible manner, and also your awards and honors. So this is just to show that, okay, yeah, also very, okay, in line with, you're also very good, and you want to, okay, fine, no matter how small the award will be, let's say the best in your department or the best in a particular module, just list it there. No matter how small it might be, just list it there. And also your publications. This is even more important for someone applying for a research position. Yeah, your publications. These are some of the papers you've written in the past, and you want, even though the paper is still under review, put it there that it's still under review, than not putting anything at all. And when you have so many papers, just put like 3 or 5 of them in your CV, and have a link for every other papers that you've written. And conferences and workshop attended, yeah, you can list some of the conferences that are still related. So the conferences and workshop you still want to put those ones that are still related to the program you're applying to. And some MOOCs that you've done, you also want to list them here. And also don't list so much of them, like 5 of them is even enough if you have done 5. But if you have like 10, 15, 20, it's not bad. You can have a link as well to some of these things, some of the MOCs, and also your professional affiliation. Yeah, you can have it there. And also your leadership and volunteering experience. This is also very important when you're applying to, let's say, programs like MasterCard, that are so much in line with, okay, your leadership and volunteering experience. You also want to list those experiences there. And also your referee. Yeah, this is not so important, but when you are required, you should also list them, like 2 of them in your CV. And also to the next one, recommendation letter. This is also a very, very important document you also need to submit during your scholarship application, because aside, okay, your SOP, your CV, the recommendation comes next, because it's a very vital document that scholarship committee usually they use it to quantify, okay, how good a candidate is, because it's like I have here to, like, a recommendation letter here is usually used to authenticate applicants' abilities and skills. Now, you are not the one that is saying, you are not the one that is confirming all your abilities and skills. Now they want somebody else, somebody you've worked with, somebody that really knows a lot about you, to like authenticate everything you said in your CV, to authenticate everything you said in your motivation letter. So you want to, number one, you want to get somebody that knows you well, like not just somebody that, like, a lecturer or a professor that just taught you once and cannot really say much about you. You want to get somebody that knows a lot, that can really vouch for you, that can really write a lot about you. Like choose somebody who knows you and that can write confidently about you, someone that can write extensively well about you, that can praise you also, if possible, because this whole thing, you are competing with thousands of people, and in fact, in some situations, millions. So you just want to submit the best recommendation letter possible. And okay. To the recommendation letter. Okay, so to the next one, a good recommendation letter should contain the following. A good recommendation letter should talk about your intellectual intelligence. It should talk about how good you are as a student, like in terms of academics. Should be able to talk about your academic qualifications, your research, how good you are. Can you think by yourself in research? Like the recommender should be able to say this, because while you're writing your essays, like you're writing your motivation letter, you must have written about, okay, you're really good in this and that and that. So the recommender now has to also outline this thing that, okay, you are good in this and this. This gives the selection committee some level of confidence that, fine, okay, you've written this in your letter, and now your recommender is also authenticating this thing. That means, yes, you are really good at it. You are really good at it. And also, your recommender should be able to talk about your problem-solving potentials, like how you are able to conceptualize some ideas about some problem. He or she should be able to talk about some research leadership, like why you are in undergraduate, during your undergraduate studies, you must have taken some, you must have worked on some project. So they should, he or she should be able to talk about this thing too. And also your teaching and leadership. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hear my voice back.
I know you can continue, Prof.
Okay. So to the next one, okay, your teaching leadership as well. So probably while you're in your undergraduate days, you've also taken some classes, like probably some tutorial classes that we normally do during our undergraduate days. Like you could also, your recommender should be able to talk about, okay, probably used to teach your peers, or he or she has even recommended you to take a class in his absence. Like you should be able to outline some of these things in his letter. And also your ranking as a student. This is just your position in your position, and also your creativity and teamwork. Many a times, some professors will want a recommender to talk about, because in a situation whereby, like, you're applying for a research position in university, and what many of these professors are really looking at, okay, they're looking for students that can sometimes just work on their own with little guidance. So they want to know how creative you are in terms of thinking in your research. Like, okay, fine, this is professor, they get millions of dollars and euros to carry out some research, but they can't really work on this research for so long that they can't really be everywhere. They will need some students that can work under, let's say, limited supervision. So in this case, you really want to recommend that to showcase you like as someone that can really do this. But then you should be able to work under limited supervision, because they are so much. They usually like that, especially when it's a research position. But for a scholarship, like let's say a MasterCard, or let's say DAAD, whereby, or a master's program that you might not really be doing so much of a research, then this might not really be much of a selling point. But then if you have it, let them write it in your recommendation letter. And I also have your personal characteristics and college readiness. Yeah, they should be able to say that. that, okay, specific example. Yes, this is also very important. Like in writing, in showcasing some of all these qualities, they should be able to put some examples, specific examples of what you do, okay, in terms of your research leadership, in what situation were you able to do this, in terms of creativity, okay, what have you done in the past that really showcase this creativity? They should be able to like put some specific examples in the letter, and also a synopsis of why they believe that the student is a good fit for this scholarship. Yeah, they could have some 1 or 2 lines, and also a closing that indicates their willingness to always provide some additional information. Yes, this is very common too. Sometimes after you submitted all these documents, after submitting all these documents for scholarship application, sometimes some faculty members still want to have some first-hand information from your recommender. So they might just call them directly or send an email, like, and they'll definitely be expecting some feedback from them. And so it is also very good, like, and also your recommendation letter should be on letterhead. It should not just be on a plain paper, please. It should be on a letterheaded paper, like probably it might be for the professor, and also, or it might be for the department or for the university, whichever of the three is fine, is always fine. And in submitting recommendation letter, don't limit yourself to only professors. Yeah, it is not, your recommendation letter should not only come from a professor. It can even come from a doctor. A doctor can speak well for you. It's better than a professor that can just write, the boy is good, the girl is good for you. So it's always very important for you to get somebody that can write extensively well for you. In fact, sometimes too, you can have a draft of what you want in your recommendation letter and just send it to your recommender to proofread and also add some other content, because sometimes some of them might be busy. They might not be able to answer some of all these questions, or some of the questions that the selection committee wants. So they might just want to you might just want to provide a contest and just send it to them for them to review. Yeah, that's for recommendation. And proof of proficiency could be your TOEFL and IELTS. There are numerous materials you could use to learn to study for TOEFL and IELTS. And in some situations in the UK, you could use a credit pass or a B or a B or a A in your WAEC to gain admission. And this can also stand for as a proof of English proficiency for you. And but many times it's always very important for you to check very well before you apply to the university, because some would say they don't want any a WAEC result that is more than 10 years. You need to first confirm, and some make it very open as far as you have at least a credit pass, and this is always very common in the UK. So aside from this, there are also so investor scholarship body, they also accept a letter from your school. This is usually called letter of English proficiency. So this is just a letter. This letter usually from your private, I think, might be from the registrar of your university, to just that states that, okay, your degree was taught in English, like over 5 or 6 years of the program was taught in English. You were examined in English, and you can speak, you can write, you listen where you comprehend with English, and you can read confidently well in English. And also you just want to, so you can also get this letter. And many times this letter is you can easily get it, and it doesn't cost much, and some university give it for free. If possible, you get this letter first before you even say you want to write the TOEFL or IELTS. So applications that allows you to submit your English letter of English proficiency, use this instead of you saying you want to get TOEFL and IELTS. And now that the prices of TOEFL and IELTS are now like going higher and higher, so you always want to use this first approach first. And when an university, they mandate it that you must submit a TOEFL or IELTS result, then know that you just have to prepare for this exam. And truly, the exams are not so difficult, and In fact, here in Europe, the official language of many of these countries is not even English, but then they still want you to submit probably a TOEFL score or a IELTS score. And when you enter the system, you find out that some of them say you don't really need this TOEFL, but then they just want to know so that they just don't gamble on you and big you, and you can't really understand when they are teaching they are teaching you in class, or you need to write a paper and you can not really write so much.
No problem.
Interest. Yeah. Please,
Yes,
how many minutes do I have? Yes.
Like 3 minutes for you to
3 minutes. Okay. I'm already on the last part. So there are different types of scholarship, and mainly we have the full scholarship, and also I didn't talk about the international passport. You can easily get that, and your research proposal, you can also write that. I think some subsequent webinars will be to address some of all these topics. And also some type of scholarship you get to apply to, full scholarships, and this usually cover almost everything you want. Monthly stipend, airfare, your laptop, health insurance, and so on. And you also have a partial scholarship. This can come in form of tuition fee waiver, or some fraction of your tuition fee being waived for you. And also the basis of winning a scholarship is usually based on commitment and your passion. Yes, because you'll be rejected many times, but your consistency is also very important. And different scholarships, every day there are thousands of scholarships that are opened, and there are countless of them that you can always apply to. And they also always have their specific date of opening. Like they have the Commonwealth Scholarship, the Bernard Nawa Scholarship, the Commonwealth Shared, the MasterCard, OFID, Kate Cambridge, DAAD, Erasmus, Swedish Institute Scholarship. There are many thousands of these scholarships that are open every day, and you always find them. And so the PowerPoint will be shared, so you can always get to see many of these. And I also have some links here already for some of these scholarships. Like, okay, you have the Erasmus, the Commonwealth. You can always go to these links and check them, and you can always get to know more about the scholarship. And these are also websites that you can always register. So yeah, first of all, I have the hotspot. There is the HISF. So this the scholarship platform by HISF, whereby you can also always get up to date. So I implore everyone to register, have an account on these websites. You always get an update every time we post latest scholarship. So you always get an email just for you to know, okay, this scholarship is now on, and you can begin your application. The admin stock websites, yeah, this was also shared of recent. So you have so many positions, like especially when you're in bioscience and agriculture related fields, find so many masters, PhD, postdoc jobs, and you get scholarship, a scholarship job. So these are many of these many scholarship platform whereby you can register, you can have an account there, and once any scholarship is being is out, you always get updated. And it's not only about you just getting update about the scholarship, it's about you putting application into them. And in putting application, you have to be very deliberate about it. You have to be committed, like having all your documents available and being very specific, answering the requirement of the scholarship body is also very important. All the research lab, other useful resources. Yeah, the HISF also have we also have a Google Drive whereby there are so many contents there for CVs. You can find several templates of CVs. There's motivation letter, several templates for motivation letter. So when you have no idea about to go about any scholarship application, just go to this drive, you'll find them there. So I also have a template over some templates lab, whereby you can also find so many SOP templates there, and essay forum, college essay guide, and all. And yeah, I have a note here that says, if you want to apply for any scholarship and you honestly don't know how to write about your first draft of your scholarship essay, just visit the essay forum. Yeah, it's a very good forum whereby you find so many templates of different scholarship essays, whereby it gives you an idea of what you should write about. Then you can now personalize it to yourself and okay, fine, okay, this is what I should be answering. And sometimes I think when you are registered, you can get, you can upload your essay and get feedback, I think, yeah. And you can also register with HISF. I think there's also some, we have some volunteer essay reviewers that could also help with that. Yeah, that's my part. Thank you very much. Yeah. And now to the second speaker.
Thank you.
Lukman.
Very much. So, Scholar Lukman Muraina, please available for us now, sir. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Can you see me?
Yes, we can, Prof.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't know why I can't find myself on the other side of the screen. But then please, Mr. Kehinde, please help me manage the slides so that,
okay.
Yeah. For most of what I would be saying, I would rely so much on what the first speaker had said. So I would just try to, like, where it is necessary that I bring in like a basic explanation. I will try as much as possible to do that, but then I will rely so much on what he has said. In fact, in this kind of situation, you cannot just say that they have said it all, but that is the reality. As I said, many things that I understand that some of us, it might be difficult for us to understand some concepts, some languages that he used, because some of us, we are really still an undergraduate and all of that. So I will advise and implore you that after this session, the journey just started. So if there are things that you feel like what these people say, maybe it's looking difficult. No, it's not difficult. It's not difficult. Just take your time. You still need to have like a specified and specialized knowledge on how to write motivational letter, how to write CVs. So these things, you don't expect that you attend this lecture and everything becomes clear. No. So you still need to go for specialized training, take courses on how to write CVs, and try to write academic CVs, because academic CVs is always different from job CVs. So you need to know that this is just a start and you need to go forward. So let me just start now. So right now, I want to tell us some specific challenges as behavioral and arts students. And so the first question I'm going to ask is, do you think it is more difficult to win a scholarship in BA disciplines? Maybe I don't want to use that language, but this part, especially this slide, is not really speaking to STEM people. So because I'm a sociologist, so I believe that sometimes there are not a lot of opportunities for people like us, maybe in humanities, in behavioral sciences, generally, management, education, etc. So that is why I have this slide here. So generally, Mr. Hussein already told us that we have basically two types of scholarship, and that is a full scholarship, and the second one is partial scholarship. But I'm telling you now that those scholarships usually come in three forms. The first one is institutional-based scholarship, and this type of scholarship are usually administered by transnational or multinational organizations, talking about scholarships like MasterCard Foundation, Commonwealth, Erasmus Mundus. Most of the time, because this scholarship, these are bodies, they are independent. For example, now you find out that MasterCard Foundation, they are an independent body, and their headquarters is in Toronto. But what they do is they have partnerships with different universities. Look at Commonwealth Scholarship also. It is an independent body. they have partnership with several UK universities. So on most occasions, you will have to apply to the schools these organizations have partnership with, and then you will have to apply to these specific organizations. I hope that is clear. And for most of the situation, these institutional-based scholarships, they have opportunities for STEM and everybody. So when you are not a STEM person and you are saying that you don't have opportunities, I want to tell you that that is not true. So MasterCard Foundation, Erasmus Mundus, Gates Foundation, all of them, they are not limiting anybody based on the field you are coming from. So everybody is competitive and everybody is equal in this type of scholarship. The second one is universities or departmental assistantship. So sometimes you find out that universities can just put up an advertisement, or you see a link online, and then maybe University of de Montfort in Canada, they are saying people should apply. So sometimes they have like a ration, like they ration it amongst all the faculties in the school, that okay, you this department, this faculty, select 20, select 30, and sometimes some of these opportunities are departmental based, especially in the US, whereby you have to go to the departmental site, look for someone who you think can mentor or supervise your research, and then you write to them specifically that you are interested. If you adopt this method also, everybody is equal. Everybody is equal. And most of the time, this funding, it is usually attached to you being an assistant in the department, either as a research assistant. It means you will be attached to a professor and you help the professor with data collection, etc. Or you are like a tutor assistant, or you are like an administrative assistant. It can come in various forms. So in this regard also, whether you are a STEM person or you are a humanities person, everybody is equal. So you cannot allege or say that there are no opportunities for you, that the opportunities are just for people in engineering or computer. No. So this third form of scholarship opportunities is where you find out that some fields might be, the opportunities available for people might be limited when you compare. Again, when you compare, and those are advertised research-based positions. And I added that these are structured around a specific research project. And those are the ones that are swamping on social media, whereby you see one prof say that I just won a grant, I want 6 students, Then when you see those opportunities, you have to write to the professor first. The supervisor, the professor like kind of survey your documents and then tell you, because sometimes you will be informed that you have been selected, sometimes you will not be informed, but supervisor will kind of encourage you to now apply to the department and ultimately the school. So, or maybe the supervisor, you will find an advertisement that somebody is maybe a faculty-based person has been employed in a university, and because of that, the laboratory they will be working in, they need some 6 students, maybe 2 are postdoctoral, 4 will be PhD, and maybe 2 masters. So for this kind of opportunities, you find out that there are lesser opportunities and it is people. But that still doesn't mean that there are no opportunities for us. If you play your game very well, if you explore all the options in the institutional-based scholarships and universities departmental assistantship, I am sure that if you do the very right thing, you will be selected. The reason why people always say that there are no opportunities for humanities people is usually because when you see scholarship opportunities, especially on social media where everybody is engaged, you find out that most of them are these advertised research-based positions, and most of them, they are computer, like data analytics, engineering, all of those are medical stuffs. So you keep asking, where are the opportunities for humanities? Where are the opportunities for education? No, it is not like that. If you are a humanities or arts person, you need to go through those 2 channels, which are institutional-based scholarships opportunities or universities or departmental assistantship-based opportunities. Next slide. So the next question is, who is an ideal scholarship applicant? And after going through this slide, I want you to ask yourself that, am I an ideal scholarship applicant? So here I say that an applicant is a person who is well positioned to win a scholarship. Scholar Kehinde already emphasized on this, so I'll just really pick on it and move on. So the first one is academic excellence, and that is like very important. We've had cases whereby people that are finished with an HND, people that are finished with a third class. These people, we've had cases and celebrations and testimonies that these people also want scholarship. But you want to position yourself such that you don't have to do a lot of extra work. When you see a person who graduated with a third class or a 2-2 win a scholarship, they have done something extra. They have done something extra, and that is because maybe perhaps because the kind of education system we are exposed to globally, they are not the ideal one. It is one that is very dependent on examinations, and it is not everybody that can actually pass an examination because of different issues. But when all of you still have the opportunity, if you are still an undergraduate, if at this time you still have the opportunity to improve on your grades, please, I am advising you, do ensure that you improve on your grades, because it is very important, and so that you avoid the extra work which can come in form of maybe extra professional experience, extra like you taking like courses, online courses, and a lot of that. If you don't want to do those extra works, I want to advise you to ensure that you excel in your academics and graduate with either a first class or a very strong 2-1. That will position you in a state whereby you are more considered or likely to be considered that people that do not pass well. Actually, how these people select the winners is that they use a rubric. So before putting out that advertisement they already know the number of people they want to select based on the amount of fund they have. So they already know that we are selecting 50 people, 30 must be female, and the other 20 opportunities must be male, 20 must come from Nigeria, 30 must come from Ghana. So they already made those decisions. So whether you like it or not, you just need to position yourself such that you are well rated in terms of your university grade. You are well rated in terms of what your referees are saying about you. You are well rated in terms of the structure of your CV and all of those things. So they have made their decision before you submitting their scholarship. So whether you like it or not, you just need to do your own part of it. The other thing is leadership and extracurricular experience. So yeah, these people do not want to spend those I don't know what it's called, but like close to $200,000 just because you sabi book. I'm sorry, I'm using they don't want to spend money on people who only knows book. What are they called? The over sabi people. They also want people that can do something like this. Like this is an extracurricular activity. Somebody that can come out and share their idea with people. Somebody that can motivate the crowd. Someone that has an organization, that is leading an organization. Somebody who participated so well in university politics. A sports leader. Somebody who did so well in terms of community service during their NYSC. So winning a scholarship is not only dependent on academic excellence. You must do those extra things too, because the world is faced with several challenges today, and knowing the books won't solve it alone. So we want those people that are very brilliant and also intelligent. The other thing is that you must be grounded in research, because postgraduate school is majorly in form of research. So you should be grounded in research. If you have the opportunities of publishing your undergraduate thesis, please do. This is not like a compulsory requirement. So if you don't have any paper, please do not bother. And if you think you are rejected, do not relate it to the fact that you do not have publications, but if you do have one, use it very well. And if you have opportunity of publishing one, use it very well. The other thing is that an applicant is someone who has all the majority or all of the scholarship requirements, like our scholar Kehinde already said, international passports, motivation letter, CV, every of these things, they already have it. So they do not see an application and they start running around. No. So ensure that, especially if you are still an undergraduate, have a set deadline. So when you think, okay, you can write your first draft of a motivation letter. So when you think, start saving money from now to get your international passport. Write a resume now, even if you can't have a CV yet. Like, start doing those things and have a deadline to when you think you can have at least a first draft, or when you think you can take a first activity on all of those scholarship requirements. And like our scholar Kehinde said once again, it is not compulsory you have them all. It is not compulsory you write IELTS now or GRE, but just have it at the back of your mind that there is an examination called GRE, and this is what it is used for. Position yourself. The other thing is, an applicant is someone who is inquisitive and doesn't ask Google answerable questions. Scholar Azan, please, I can't see the rest of this page. So, for example, now you see like a scholarship leader post something online, and on the comment box, you find comments like, what is the closing date of a scholarship? Sometimes, because one thing is, everyone you see here that has won a scholarship, we are also studying, and those, studying is actually demanding. So what comes to our mind is, are you playing? What kind of playing is this? Like, that is the truth. So, there are some questions that can easily be answered with just, a click on the internet. So you do not want to ask some very funny questions, and because when you ask those questions, the person look at your name and they already have like a perception of you. They already add something about you, such that if you enter their DM, they do not want to, give you attention. So when you are coming to, when you are asking questions, ask questions like, I don't know, but ask very rich questions. Ask questions that when the person who posted the opportunity, they're also thinking that, no, this is an excellent student that wants to apply. Don't ask questions, that are, I don't know, like, are you playing question? The next thing is, have a scholarship plan and go. Please have a scholarship plan. Try and, I'm going to say in my next slide that you should have a scholarship mentor. Part of your scholarship plan should be, which countries do I prefer? Which universities do I prefer? Are you applying to the top 100 universities in the world? Or you are not even considering those top 100 universities? You are considering like the average universities. Part of your plan should be, should you consider GRE? Should you consider USA? And the reason why you need to ask yourself if I'm considering USA is because USA sometimes have these extra requirements like the GRE. Am I considering schools that require English proficiency tests? Am I considering schools that is requesting for GRE? You need to answer these questions. And you can only know the relevant questions to ask when you have a mentor. So don't just apply for every opportunities out there. Know what you're applying for and what not you will not apply for. The next one is a prayerful and believing candidate with a touch of never give up attitude. I'm a religious person, but if you are not religious, you can keep this out, but then pray about these things that you are doing. It takes time. Sometimes you can be rejected and it's painful because you've spent a lot of hours. But if you are a believing person, if you have faith, if you have iman, as the Muslims call it, you can be motivated, and you with your never give up attitude, you wake up in the next day and you are looking for the next opportunity to start, to start an application on. Next slide. So the do's and don'ts of scholarship applications. Let me start with the do's first. So the first one here say apply, and selectively apply again. So you need to make up your mind when you have a goal, your scholarship goal. So now start applying, apply, and the later on selectively apply again. Selectively apply again is because this is my experience. I think when I first started, I was applying for almost every opportunities. But please, because at the end of the day, these organizations, this department, they want to make a name out of us. They want to put it out there that 100,000 people applied and only 30 people are selected. Do not be part of those 100,000 people, those crowd. I'm sorry, a lot of our institutions must have used my name to, heighten the worth of their own institution. Do not be part of those 100,000. Read the eligibility criteria over and over again and ask yourself honestly, am I qualified for this opportunity? Go and look for what they are looking for in their candidates. For example, now MasterCard Scholar, even if you graduate with a first class plus, or maybe first class upper, if you graduate with a first class upper and you are not a leader on your own, I'm sorry, you won't be selected, because MasterCard emphasizes a lot on you being a leader. So you need to know and you will only know when you read about the organization, you know about their purpose, then you can position yourself that, okay, I'm qualified. And then all of those things those organizations are looking for, you make it obvious and you significantly emphasize on them in your motivation letter or statement of purpose. Again, prepare in advance. And like I have said in the other slide, prepare in advance. Start preparing your referee from now on. That's Sama, please, you are going to be writing letters for me. Start saving money from now for your passport, etc. Review and review again. Please, I don't know, maybe this is also part of my experience because I graduated with a first class. So sometimes we are proud candidates. So sometimes because we think we are first class, that whatever we are writing out there has a lot of quality. No. My brother, it's a lie. It's a lie. Big like one, if you literally give it to 10 people, those 10 people will always have a comment. Will always have a comment on what you are not doing very well. So when you write at first, and then this is also very important. When you write something, do not send. You are dropping your pen on your motivation letter and you are sending it out immediately to your reviewer or to your mentor that they should read it. No, that is not done. At least when you are done writing something today, my method is I do not go over it today, and this is like best practice. Like sleep and wake up another day and read it from head to toe. Correct every mistakes. Ensure that you are not giving your mentor extra and unnecessary work, because if they are reading your application and they are seeing like language mistakes, you are complicating their work, and these people do not even have time. So you need to review your documents again and again. Even when they send it back to you, read it that extra time. And once again, make contact. And this is very important for people that are applying for PhD positions. You need to and also for departmental and university positions, make contact. Those inquiries or contact information we see in university advertisement, make use of them. For example, now, if you see a professor advertise a position, do not just apply, make contact, such that when they are reading your application, there is something in their head that it seems this person has written to me. This is very important for research-based master's position and PhD position. You do not just want to send an application there without them never hearing about who you are or where you are from. And then be humble. If you are applying for scholarship, you are not applying alone. You need some people around you. You need your imam in your mosque. You need your pastor in your church. You need your employer. You need your boss. You need your supervisor. You need your HOD. You need the dean of faculty to write some things for you, to sign some documents for you. So you need to be humble. Do not think you are a first-class student and you know everything. Please, I'm begging. So now to the don'ts. Do not submit many applications. I already said it. Do not be part of those 100,000 people that is just applying and applying. Because at the end of the day, these people would just be using the numbers to enhance their own profile. Another one is do not be a proud scholarship applicant. I already said it already. Because you are a first-class candidate, that doesn't make you exceptional. Be willing to learn. Oh, please, who is that? Please, can someone help me with the participants? Please unmute. Please. So do not be a proud applicant. The other thing is, and this is very important, and I'm just saying it now, but I will always advise.
Unmute yourself, please.
Okay, I've muted them myself.
All right.
Okay. So do not be a so this is, I think, is one of the first mistake I made, and I have seen it repeated over time, in the sense that our first motivation letter, it is always about us being the best candidate. It is always about we graduating with a first class, we been scoring A in our research project, the research we have done. You know, it is always about, and sometimes
minutes more.
How many minutes?
5 minutes.
Okay, I will cover. I only have one slide left. So it is always about you praising yourself about those exceptional things you have done. No, motivation letter is not like that. It is not you are not applying to become a chief. So don't praise yourself. Sometimes you have to write in relation to the university. You have to write why the university suits you. Maybe the universities have a lot of, it is in London, for example, and there will be a lot of internship positions. You have to include that. You need to include, like, there is a professor who is interested in your work, or you are interested in their work, and you think having them in the department, so either supervise you directly, will increase your research. Do not write a motivation letter from A to Z and you are trying to become a chief. And then do not get jealous. On our HISF group, you will see a lot of people, rejoicing, giving their testimonies. Please celebrate with others, because evidently your time is coming. And then do not give up. Do not give up. I think last year we had a story about someone who has been applying for scholarship like 7 years. That there are people like that. So your time is coming. Just know that it can take a lot of time, but if you don't give up, it's going to come. So, and like I have just said now, what if love letters keep coming? What is a love letter? I know there are many newbies here. So there are 2 types of letters. When you apply for a scholarship, they give you 2 types of letters. The first one is a love letter. The second one is a romance letter. So love letter is a rejection letter, because when they are writing, they are like, your application is okay. A lot of people applied, but at the end of the first paragraph, we are rejecting your application. That is why it is love letter. But romance letter, they will see a lot of good things, and then they are romancing you that, okay, are you accepting or rejecting? But if love letters keep coming, the first one, enjoy the breakfast and see if you can get a personalized rejection explanation. If it is not an institutional-based opportunity like MasterCard, because those one will just give a general response. But if it is a department-based, if it is research-based, write to those people. Don't say, why have they not picked you? What can I do better in my next application? The second one, sleep over the rejection. It can be stressful, it can be demoralizing, it can be disempowering, but just enjoy that night, that day. You can just go get some pizza, get some sleep, but the next day, take up your pen and start applying again. The other one is what you need to do something differently. And this, I'm just going to quickly share a story. After applying for scholarship, personally, for 2 years without winning, sorry, it was close to 2 years. Like, I was looking at my second year like this, and I'm like, it is just some 2 or 3 opportunities I have submitted. and I'm expecting their response. And at that period, Commonwealth has served me breakfast. I applied for like 4 universities in Commonwealth. I'm like, ha! And at that period, I was about to complete my NYSC. And I'm like, no, I haven't been applying for job because I just think I need to go to Europe, and I don't know, I'm a first-class student. I have this belief that I should be choosing. So I'm like, now I need to do something differently. So I made up my mind immediately. I wrote TOEFL. And then I later saw an opportunity that helped me write GRE. So when you keep having rejection letters, please don't just take the last motivation letter, change 1 or 2 lines and submit. No, you need to ask yourself, what do I need to do differently? Write scholarship examinations, GRE, change your scholarship plan, talk to your mentor, target new countries or schools. Have you been applying to the top schools? Change that approach. Rewrite your SOP. One of the things that I did is I almost forgot I had written any motivation letter before. I start to write another one from the beginning. And I ensure that before even sending it out to anyone, I just send it out as a draft motivation letter to someone to help me review. I think I should have 2 minutes left now. So the other thing is do other things that matter in life. When you keep having rejection, please and please, do not just say that I've been rejected and maybe you are still going to continue to apply. Sometimes if you are not selected, life can be, I don't know, especially Nigeria. Nigeria can kill you inside. Nigeria can kill us inside. Get married. Get a job or start. Yeah, please. I don't know, maybe part of the ideas that I share. You should get married in the process. What you just need to do is start applying for opportunities that will cater for your family. I cannot announce here, but some of the people you have announced that have spoken in this event today, some of them have their families abroad. You know, they are being paid and their spouse is being paid as well. You know, you also want to, let your spouse, let your wife, eat from that scholarship money. So get married. This is not a bad thing. It doesn't reduce your value, especially if you are going for postgraduate school, especially PhD. They are ready to cater for your wife as well. And then keep applying and pray. Last slide. So that is it all. If I took extra time, I'm sure the moderator will spank me at the back of the camera. So I appreciate this opportunity, and yeah, let me return it to the moderator. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, sir. We are very grateful for this insight. I pray Almighty God bless you. So, can you hear me?
Yep.
Please, this is just the tip of the iceberg from HIS. So, if you have any mentors or also many scholars around the country that are ready to deliver and give us an insight lecture about scholarship application. So, what we need from is just our availability. So this is just the beginning of this section, or the June section. We are still going to have the July section about scholarship. We are moving to, let's say, USA next month. So we are going to go to the question and answer section right now before we have other things. So if you have a question, please kindly drop your question to the chat box. I'm going to read the question from that place. So if you have a question, I'm going to start from the first question. Scholar, are you there, sir?
Yeah, we are.
Yes. The first question said that, okay. Good evening, sir. What is the difference between motivation letter and statement of purpose?
So just like I said during my lecture, basically there's no difference between them. It depends on where you are just applying to and the university or the scholarship body, because basically what you need to address is still your motivation, your purpose of applying, of making the application. So personally, I defined them to be the same: motivation letter, scholarship, your SOP, statement of purpose, your letter of intent. They're basically the same, because they just want to know specific things about you. So it's just they are the same thing. Basically, they are the same thing. Yeah.
All right. So the second question is that, is considering university ranking necessary? If someone wants to apply for a PhD opportunity, is it necessary for someone to consider the school ranking, especially in the US?
Yes, you can. Yeah, it's your choice. You can consider ranking, and but in a situation whereby you've been applying for scholarship every year and there and nothing is coming forth, and you have a school that is ranked over 300 or 400, and the highest ranked university in your home country is just about 1,000, you ranked about 1,000 positioned, definitely you want to go with a university with them like that is ranked over 500 or 600, because sometimes a university might not be so ranked in a particular field, like, but if they have a very good ranking in your own field, why not? You can just go for it. Like, I have some universities that, like, yeah, there are some universities that are specialized in one particular field, so they might not really have that high rank of, let's say, in top 100, but they are so good in that particular field that you have interest in. So best of best is just for you to apply to that university, get admitted, and you can do your PhD there. So the major thing, the main focus should be you getting a fully funded offer in the university. And yeah, it should not be like, the ranking should not be like your first criteria, although you can look at it. And in a situation whereby you have so many offers, then you can now use ranking of university to streamline your options, and so probably your faculty members and all, and interest in the country, and postgraduates, your post-graduation stay in the country. So you can also use that as well to streamline your option. Yeah,
so
I think that answers the question.
Which part of the Europe is good to go with family for PhD?
It's a difficult question, I would say, because
What of Germany? What of Germany?
Yeah, for me personally, it's okay. Like, for you to come to Germany with your spouse and your children, it's okay. But then you first need to consider the offer you have at hand. Is it a fully funded offer? Is it a research position? Because they come in different forms. Some might be, you might be a researcher in a lab. Some might just be a fully funded offer by an organization. Some might be a research associate. Yeah, there are some that comes like a research associate, whereby it's like as if you are employed in the lab, so you take so many responsibilities, like just like as if you are doing your PhD, but you do far more than as if you are doing PhD, because you get to work on projects. So it depends on what the offer defines for you. If they give you the option to, okay, you have the opportunity to bring your spouse, your children, then yeah, it's okay. But I would say Germany is a good place. Like, you can always bring family. France is also very good. Yeah. But many of these countries they're okay. But just like I said earlier, you just have to look at what it's in the offer that you are getting. It's not all offer that allows you to like travel with spouse or bring in your spouse during your studies, but you need to first confirm that before you take that giant step. Yeah, it's very, very important.
Another question is that, which European countries or university accepts BSc track for PhD, like we see in the USA? So is there
No. So in the case of Europe, is quite different from US. Like in Europe, definitely they always require your master's before you are accepted for PhD program. But for US, definitely you can apply directly. And also, you just need to also know this, that there are some programs here that like they operate like the US form, whereby you are accepted for master's, but your master's can extend into PhD. So it's like a kind of condensed program that it's a 5 years program, so you do your master's and a PhD together. So, but it's very difficult for you to find a placement or for you to be admitted into any program without a master's. To be admitted for a PhD without a master, it's very, very, very difficult for you to find such opportunities in Europe, specifically in Europe, yeah. But in US, I know it's very common. And for you to find in Europe, it's mostly, it will have to be combined. Like you have to first do like your first year or your first 2 years, like a master's program. Then from there, you now proceed into PhD for like 3 years.
Okay. Another question is that the person that is currently doing his or her master, so can you advise the person to use his BSc to apply for a PhD program, or he should use his master degree to apply for a PhD program in US?
In US?
Yes.
Yes, you can. So in your, I don't know the stage you have with your master's. If your master's is that you're just starting, there's no point in, if you're just starting your master's. But if you're in the middle of your master, why not just include it in your CV that, okay, you have a master's going on? Because definitely, even though you are going to come into the program, you will not just start with the PhD part of your project, of your program directly, because PhD in the US is always like for minimum of, let's say, 5 years, because you still need to do some prerequisites. Mostly you need to do some prerequisites before you start the full research. Like you first need to be like a candidate, like before you now start the full PhD program. So even though you started, if you started your PhD, you started your master's in Nigeria, like, and you're in like your end of your first year, or you're starting your second year of your master, definitely include it in your, it will even be a plus for you that, okay, you already currently have a research that is going on. Yes, you can include it. But if it's that you are just starting, there's no point in including it then, because you have nothing to show for it. Like you've not done any semester, like no semester results that I can even show. You just have only admission, then that's not so good. But if you're in the middle, you can still submit your first and second semester result and as one of the application, and you will submit a research proposal for your PhD. You understand? So that's it.
So this person is asking that, I scholar, please, when will there be a free GRE or so free? I think the question is basically that, when will the application for iScholar initiative be out? So I think pertaining to this question, the application is usually out around January, February. So you can keep on checking their website. So another question is that, how much is GRE and TOEFL fee in Nigeria?
Scholar Luke one, you can answer that one. Scholar Luke one.
Hello, please, can you repeat the question?
How much is GRE and TOEFL fee in Nigeria?
How much?
Yes, that's it. If you want to register for GRE,
okay,
how much someone's going to pay for GRE and TOEFL?
Okay, actually, this should also be the reason why you should apply for scholarship, because you know the exchange rate hasn't been favorable recently. But the amount I had last is, it is close to 150,000, and this is an exam that I wrote in 2019-20 at around 50,000. But you know the exchange rate has skyrocketed over time, and it's close to 150,000. So I pray God ease our affairs so that we can afford. But yeah.
Also, in addition, there are some organizations like there are some agents. There are also reputable agents that can also help you in paying. I think for IELTS, I think that should be around 80 or 90K thereabouts. You know. I think someone raising hand, Stella. I don't know.
We still have question here. Maybe I'm through with the question.
Okay.
So is there any chance for a person who does not have much or no leadership experience while in the university just focus only on academic excellence? That is there a chance for a person who does not have much or no leadership experience while in the university that the person just focused only on academic excellence?
Lukman.
Okay, yeah, it is very possible. Like if a third class person can get a fully funded scholarship, it means it is possible. But like I have said, you need to like be selectful of what you're applying for. If you know you don't have leadership experience, think about getting one. Like it's possible. If you are still an undergraduate, you can start doing something. If it is sports, if it is just being like, even if you can't contest for elective positions, try to get to people that are making the decisions. Be the chairman of a committee. If you are still in service, be committed, like serve your country. Be the coordinator of all those things that we usually join. Even within your workplace, be the leader of a team and write a good story out of those things. It is not necessary that maybe you are the one feeding 200,000 poor people in Lagos, in Magodo. No, those small things, write it very well, brand it, and present it as leadership. And if the situation is still that you don't have anything, well, just be selectful. Do not apply for MasterCard, and even Chevening, don't apply for them because they also want leaders. So just apply for those ones that emphasize on people with academic excellence. And if you are really excelling academically, it means you should have publications to show for it. So use that to your advantage as well. Thank you.
Is it okay to put my GRE score point in my academic CV? That's another question. Is it okay to put my GRE score in my academic CV?
Yeah, very okay. Yeah, it's your result. Okay. Very good. Or unless probably the score is not so good or not good at all, like doesn't even meet average, then you might just want to do away with it.
All right.
Yeah.
What's the difference between notification of results and statement of results? I think we don't really know that question.
As far as I understand, they are both the same thing. Yeah, statement. I think different universities just use a different language.
Yeah, different.
So another question: how many pages I do for an academic CV?
I think two. So it's okay. Except you are applying for a PhD and you have so many, and they don't put a limit to it. So many applications might limit you to, okay, give us submit a 2-page CV. Then in that instance, you should not exceed the set limit. But in a situation whereby you are not given a limit, but still keep it simple, two should be okay for you to put, because by the time you start extending to 3, 4, 5, then that's when you start including some irrelevant information that you just bore your reviewer. So just keep it at 2. Yeah, with 2 you'll be able to put so much information, like the real things that they want. You understand? So yeah.
This person, I'm interested in Canadian graduate school for my master's, but I finished from a polytechnic. I have been bombarded with different information that Canadian graduate school does not accept HND, even with West Canada evaluation. What do I do in this kind of situation?
Look, man.
Actually, I know I'm the one supposed to answer, but I wanted to leave it for you. But do you really have more authentic knowledge?
So there, it's a bit diverse, because as a PhD, as a HND holder, it's a bit difficult, because but some things I know you can do. One, if you've done your West evaluation, you should have a chance to apply, but you just need to do something. Have your West evaluation first of all. If you haven't done that, have your West evaluation. Explore so many university websites. some will not accept you because probably you don't meet their requirements, but you just need to key into the few ones that will accept your application, and probably you also get funding. And if you have the opportunity, you might just apply for a research master's program, and don't go directly for, say, a PhD. And when you get your master's, then that will be enough for you to just combine your master's and your West evaluated transcripts to apply for a PhD. So you want to like vary your options and not just say, okay, only Canada. And if it's that you even want to do Canada, try to read into, you have, not all universities will accept you because you are with HND, but then definitely you will always find some universities that can accept you with funding. And if you are even so good with research also, and you have some research publication, definitely you can very fortunate to find a professor that will be so much interested in your work. And with that, so whether you have a BSc from Nigeria or from Ghana or something will not really count at that point then. So I think you can use that option. Yeah, I think that's the response I can give to that.
Another question is that, can English language can be considered as our native language in Nigeria?
So English language is never our native language. Our native language should be Yoruba, etc. But as we have seen recently, many universities, especially in the UK and elsewhere, they list Nigeria as part of universities that do not need to write English test. Yet, and this is something I did recently, you know that you can speak English very well. Your undergraduate education was in English. Try to get a proficiency test from your university. Go to the registry office. They write those letters. And then try to write to those universities. Even if you don't have a proficiency, tell them that you are a Nigerian, that your undergraduate education was in English language, that Nigeria, that all the people in your country understand English, that they should consider waiving that requirement for you, and you should expect a result from them. So it works a lot of time.
All right. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Please, pertaining to that, I will also like to advise them that the kind of letter they are going to send to that school should be a letter that is free of grammatical error. You can't expect a university that you are requiring, let's say, English language waiver from, and you still construct a bad English. You know, it will just feel as if this kind of person. So you are requesting English language waiver from us, and you still can construct a simple and correct English. So you should try to take note of that. It's very important. So this person has a question: how can I get a scholarship mentor? How can I get a scholarship mentor?
Well,
mentorship is a big thing to do, like sincerely, because it requires so much dedication. And the person also asking, is the person really committed? Because many times when you even put yourself down for some people that, okay, fine, okay, I'm willing to, okay, assist you as much as possible, then, and you give them some assignment to do, like, okay, can you just, okay, let me see your CV, can you go out? And you find out that they don't turn up, and so you get discouraged. So mentorship is really a big thing, like, but I don't know if the person is on HISF, the person, if you are not there, try to message the moderator or probably me, or try to drop your number, or try to message any of us. Like, first, you can be added into the HISF platform. And also we are working on something, probably a kind of mentorship program, if we get enough people to work on it. So probably you can be one of the those that will be in part of the mentorship platform. But generally, you can always get information. Anytime you have a question, you can always get them answered on the HISF platform, generally, yeah.
So this person is asking that, is TOEFL more, which English test is more effective, IELTS or TOEFL?
So write anyone, One thing is those exams, they are structured along two powers. So US universities prefer TOEFL, while UK administers IELTS. But the reality is that even if you write TOEFL, universities that are demanding for IELTS will still accept TOEFL from you, and vice versa. It is in very rare cases and top universities that they will request for IELTS and they will not accept TOEFL from you.
So another question is that,
Okay. No, sorry, I'm coming. I think one should go for IELTS compared to TOEFL because of the following reasons. We have read over time online that one, TOEFL is more harder. Then TOEFL is like restricted because it's in North American English. You have to understand the colloquial usage of North American English before you could be able to have a high score in TOEFL. So generally speaking, it is agreed that TOEFL is more expensive, is more tougher than IELTS. So, however, IELTS has wider coverage because apart from academics, countries like Canada will accept IELTS for work as part of their grading system to take you in. So perhaps academics is not working, you can diversify to work if you have access, and that yes will be welcome. So some believe because TOEFL is restricted, is coming from North America, some have a beef over it. So, and some people still believe England owns English. So because of those few points, I would say one should go for IELTS. Though I did TOEFL in my time to take my MSc admission. But however, I think IELTS, if I'm doing another one, I'll go for IELTS. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, brother. But the thing is, based on my own experience, I think TOEFL is way easier than IELTS, and there's no country that doesn't accept TOEFL in place of IELTS. And I think in the past, it's usually like the money you pay for these exams that differentiates them. But whichever one, like as a candidate that you're applying to scholarship, whichever one that suits you best, like don't limit yourself. And for the IELTS, I think there are different types of IELTS. Like the one that you use for academics, I think is quite different from the one you use for immigration. And so, but for a candidate that is working on that, so definitely you need to make more research. But then TOEFL or IELTS, whichever one you are confident in paying for and getting a good score with, definitely you can just go with it. Yeah. Thank you very much.
This person, these already people also won't take much question again. So if you have any question for us, you can follow us up on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and
Scholar Habib,
on our website.
there's someone that have been raising, and I don't know if we could just take them to ask like 1 or 2 questions and just give them that opportunity. Like 2 people have been raising hands.
Stella.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's Stella.
Yes, and one other person, I think.
All right, Stella, please, if you are here, you can ask your question.
You can quickly ask your question. Well, if she's not here, I think another person, read one. Yeah, okay.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
I really appreciate this session and I gained a lot. My question is that when the first speaker, when he was talking, he was saying something about STAR approach in writing, what's it called? He was talking about making use of a STAR approach. So when he was talking about the situation that in solving a particular problem, so I wanted to ask that when we are putting a problem we've solved into our CV, into our curriculum vitae or our motivation letter, is it necessarily the problem is being solved together as a team? Is it necessarily the problem we solve or the volunteering job we participated in? Is it necessarily a teamwork? Is a teamwork? That was one. Then 2 is that I noticed that when applying for some scholarship, that some universities, it is highly required that we get admission into the school first before. Now we get admission into the school first before the scholarship can be granted or accepted. I don't know. So I want you to enlighten me more on that one. That was just my question.
So to your first question, it's whichever of the two that you've been involved in, you should write about it. So whether it's a teamwork or it's your own, like some people who have an NGO whereby they want to use to address a particular issue in their community. So like you conceive the idea, so you can write that situation that's based on your own conception, and sometimes it might be in teamwork. So whichever of the case, you just have to take the one that is mostly relevant to the situation at hand, like to the question that have been asked, and also that is relevant to the scholarship body that you're applying to for their scholarship. And for your second question, different scholarship with different routine. Some require you to get an admission before you get funding. Some the admission and the funding come together. Like in case of like so many DAAD scholarship, you apply for admission and also you get scholarship. And there are some of them that you apply separately. You apply firstly for admission. Then when you're given admission, then you now proceed to apply for scholarship. And there are some that you just apply for, like Erasmus. In an Erasmus Mundus application, you just apply to the consortium like straight. So once you're accepted, you get both the admission and the scholarship together. So it varies from program to program, university to university. So you just need to know which one applies in your own case to the university or to the program. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Please,
Yeah.
one more thing, sir. When you said something that when we are writing our CV in applying for some scholarship, that we should put in some of the courses we've done, so that relating to that scholarship we are applying to, that we should put in the courses. So I want to ask that, these courses, is it something we did during our school days? Maybe like something like BME, something, or other external courses that we do outside that we collected certificate for, all these other online programs, other online programs courses. Is it that one or the school courses that we did during our school days?
So I would say the school courses, those one in your undergraduate, because you still have another section to put your online course, which is the MOOC. So in that section of your CV, you can put all those online ones you did. But for the one that comes after your undergraduate degree, you can just list 3 or 4 of them. Like, okay, so they know that, oh, you've already done probably statistics in genetics, or you've done statistics in engineering or something, like, just because it's very relevant to the program. And sometimes when you are checking the description of some scholarship, also for some research position, they tell you that you should know about this and this. You should know about this too. You should know about this. So all those tools that they've said in their description, it's always very good you have it right in your CV, so that when they are even evaluating your CV or they are trying to evaluate your profile, they easily find that. Not like they still have to look deep into your transcript before they can say, oh, this person also have knowledge in statistics, in engineering, or have relevant, can use this particular apparatus. You understand? So you just want to mention those key things in your CV, and it's not as if you have to mention so many of them, just few of them. And I hope that answers the question.
All right, thank you.
No.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, in order to about that question, please try to read the whichever scholarship you are trying to apply for. Try to read the instructions very well. It's very important. Like some program like Erasmus program, like Biorefinery, they require you to put all your relevant courses. Also, like biopharmaceutical, they require you to even include your thesis in it. So just try to read the instruction thoroughly before putting anything forward. Don't just submit a general CV or just a work CV. Just try to read the instruction thoroughly. So we are going to end the section now, but before we end the section, we can't take question right now again. This already past 6. So in our subsequent section, which is going to hold up around July, if you are still available and you are able to join us, you can put your question forward and our scholars are going to answer the question. So this just to introduce you much about HISF. HISF is now at Hotspot International Scholars Forum. We have our website, which is www.hotspot.isf.com. We have more than 15 WhatsApp groups, and we have Telegram groups, and also we have our LinkedIn page, our Facebook page, and also the Twitter account. You can follow us at ISF or at Forum ISF on Twitter. You are going to see different updates about HISF. So it is better for you to be part of this HISF because HISF is a community that has breed and built and also produced many kinds of scholars studying in different parts of the world, including Europe, American, also Australia, China, India, even India. So if you are not part of this community, seriously. So thank you for being part of this section. We are going to have another section around July. So keep updated. So thank you very much. Scholar Luga, please, do you have anything to say, sir?
Let me check if it's still online. I don't think so.
All right. So
okay, it's still online.
Section now. So
it's still online. Let me check if it's available.
All right.
Scholar Luga, I think it's not available. It is, yeah.
It's not available.
Yeah, and for those ones that might still want to join the platform, so I think they can always message you and or reply to the email. I don't know the email you used.
So you can reply to the email, but please, our community is we have certain rules and regulations we do follow. So it's not just the community that you are going to message us instantly and we are going to add you to the group. We have some set of criteria that it must meet. So if you not meet up with the criteria, you can still follow us on our social media. So it is very necessary for you to meet up with our criteria before we can add you to any of our groups. So thank you very much. So have a great day. So thank you very much. See you in July. All right, take care of yourself, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
My prof, Habib, thank you very much.
I'm not the prof, sir. You prof.
For where? For where? All right, now.